Hello students, today our chapter is Women, Caste and Reform from subject History. In this chapter, we will learn about the evil practices on women, caste system, untouchability, about Gulamgiri, reformers like Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, all about widow remarriage, education for women and progress, non-Brahmin movement, and caste and social reforms. As we know, women empowerment is one of the most used terms these days. Today, women are leading in all fields, whether it is the army or the medical sector. But the situation was not same 200 years back. Let us take you to the introduction of the chapter, which tells about how women were treated in the ancient time, how children such as girls were forced to marry with elderly men. There were discrimination in terms of caste, but the situation in 19th century changed. It was just because of the development of new forms of communication. And the lower caste, which were treated as untouchables, the discrimination later was abolished. So the reforms against all the social evils initiated in the 19th and the 20th century. However, the reforms was not easy. It was achieved later through several movements against the supporters of these practices. As we know that the social reforms were initiated by the social reformers. Before going to that, let's understand what does social reforms mean. So the social reforms means that a group of people with the common ideology or thinking who try together to achieve certain general goals. So one of the social reformer, the Raja Ram Mohan Roy, played a very important role in expanding women education in India. He is the man who started the movement against Sati system, which was later banned by William Lord Bentinck. So this was the most famous movement in the history of India. In 1822, he founded a school based on English education. In addition, in 1828, he founded the Brahma Samaj to expose religious hypocrisies. Another reformer of the time was Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, who is known as the main architect of Widow Remarriage Act, which allowed the remarriage of widows. Furthermore, he gave several ancient Sanskrit texts in support of widow remarriage. Another renowned social reformer is Swami Dayanand Saraswati, who supported widow remarriage, and later he established Arya Samaj, which promoted values and practices based on the beliefs of the Vedas. Many reformers by the point realized how crucial women's education was. So, in order to promote women education, in Calcutta, Vidyasagar established several schools for girls. Arya Samaj in Punjab was opened. Jyotirao Phule in Maharashtra opened several schools for girls. As teaching of women became popular, women started teaching other women. The Begums of Bhopal worked with the Muslim community to advance girl education in India. As women's educational opportunities increased after 1880. Also, Begum Rokeya Sekhawat Hussain founded numerous girls' schools in Patna and Calcutta. So dear students, now we will focus on the significant changes and improvement in the caste and social reforms in India. So, such as Satnami movement, Haridas Thakur movement, and every other movement which was led by Brahmin people, their main agenda was to form sense of self-esteem among the lower caste people. One of the famous reform which we observed was by Jyotirao Phule. He wrote a notable work on the caste and reform movement. His work was written in a book named Gulamgiri, which was based on slavery. So his moral idea was to connect with the people of lower caste in India and the black slaves in America. And another renowned activist who is the father of Indian Constitution and the one who led anti-caste movement, B.R. Ambedkar. He was a part of several movements in 1927 to 1935. Let us understand Jyotirao Phule, a reformer of India, in detail. So he was born in 1827 with an idea to fight against the injustices, practices given to the lower caste society. Phule said that the upper caste had no right to their land and power. So he proposed that Shudras and Ati Shudras should unite to challenge caste discrimination, which is the social evil in India. So to spread caste equality among the society, he founded Satya Shodhak Samaj. Another reformer of the time was E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar, the one reformer who led two movements, one that non-Brahmin movement and another is self-respect movement. So the non-Brahmin movement started by him was to access education, wealth and influence by the non-Brahmin caste as they were being discriminated. Another movement, self-respect movement, was started by him to argue that the untouchables were true upholders of Tamil and Dravidian culture, which has been subjugated by Brahmins. I hope you have understood the chapter very well. Thank you.